Hi guys, welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name's Cathal Mooney and I'm from Heatherhill Farm, and today we're going to look at a new farm that we're taking on. Hi guys, and welcome to the new farm that I'm on. This is it's about a 3.5 hectare site, and this is the best field that I'm standing in now. You can see behind me it's quite rushy. It's been grazed by horse all winter, but I'll flip you around and show you there's good signs of growth coming. I'm not sure how to manage this now. The gate's a little tight for getting an egg mobile in here, so I think chickens are out of the question for this year anyway. So we'll manage it with sheep, and maybe we'll get some turkeys in here. I definitely feel like it needs impact, and we need to start getting on top of these rushes. There's so many rushes. The sheep aren't going to impact it enough for sure. I might even mulch or top the rushes with a tractor mechanically, even twice, just to try and deaden them, and hopefully then the planned grazing will help bring on grasses. I'll spin you around and just show you. You can see there's evidence that horsey was here, but although there's good sign of fresh grass coming, spring's just around the corner. The land is quite wet, but I mean all land's wet now, and it's actually not too bad for this time of year. I feel like it's got great potential. So some of these are the bigger strands of rushes, and I feel like these could really help with just getting chopped up, because the problem here is there's no light getting into any grass in here. So if we can get rid of this and get some light in here, and then not overgraze it and let the grass get establishing, then hopefully we stand a better chance. But this field runs all the way around the perimeter. We'll jump on to Google Maps and actually look at the outline of the whole site. So this is our farm, and you can see I've divided the farm up so it's sitting in a triangular shape here. And this is the field that we call the meadow field, and it's the biggest field and it's got the most potential. Then we've got a little field here, I call it the garden, and this is the wooded area here in white. And then I've divided the back into 3 fields effectively, based on their potential for production. So this is the front field here, which is pretty similar to the meadow field. Then I've got the middle field, which is semi-hill, some grassland, and then we've got the hill here. And you can see up along the top we've got a lot of wild growth encroaching in onto the fields, so that's something we're going to have to look at and manage. And there is places along here too where the growth or the hedges are taken over a little, so there's some little work to do along with that. And this is a nice sized field here, and it's got nice shelter, so the prevailing one actually comes straight facing at us here. So we've got these trees, and we've got nice spruce trees up here which give us some protection. I've just punched a hole in the ground here with the spade. Light's a little bit hard to see, but you can see here the root hairs are just coming down to about here, so there's a good 12 inches of rooting depth there, which is great to see. And it's a clay ground, and if I look at my hole, it's going about 12 inches, and then the colour's changing, but I see loads and loads, and it's quite hard to see with the light. I see loads and loads of potential with this ground. You can see there's even the top maybe 3 inches are real dark, nice organic colour. Then you've got then maybe 4 or 5 inches, and then the colour changes again after that. So there's about 6 inches of good active life there, I'd say, and then it starts to peter off, but the roots are getting their way down there. So hopefully by proper management we can get these roots going right proper deep. We'll get them up, maybe hit 24 inches. Someday. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's good to check that and see where we're starting from. So I'm just walking around, sticking in a few holes, checking what it looks like. There's some areas where the hedgerow is really coming into the pasture, like way more than probably it needs. There's I'd say there must be 5 or 6 meters, and then that this could be taken back. You can see it's all just brambles and everything. Like I like to leave a hedgerow, but a couple of meters of a hedgerow is fine for habitat. This is just excessively pushing into the pasture, so we'll probably try and take that back as well. You can see this is the water source in the farm. So we're not going to want animals coming in to that. We've got a nice flowing stream here, and it runs down along the whole farm. So that'll be useful for getting water for animals, I think. I'll either put a reservoir up high in the farm and then pipe off that, or else maybe pipe, if I can do that. I haven't found a suitable place yet, but if I can't do that, then I'll just get a little 12-volt pump and pump it slowly up to a reservoir in higher ground and let gravity feed it down. My main purpose was to come here and try and establish what I think is potential annual days per hectare currently on this, and the pastures are pretty beat up. They've been overgrazed heavily here. You can see that's why the rushes are wanting to come up. They're trying to protect the pasture. I reckon the pastures at the farm are much better shape of the pastures at the farm, or if I was comparing these to the pastures at the farm, were a 10 out of 10. These probably are a 5. I know I'm looking at them, they've been grazed all winter. I know when spring growth kicks in, there is going to come a bit of mass on here, so it has potential. I'm thinking of a bit of 5, but half the output of the home farm is a good calculation for doing my planning, and as the season goes on we'll get a better idea. So there's a few more sections to the farm, and the landowner of this farm came and found me. It wasn't something I was looking for, and it just really fitted the context well for me. It's 5 minutes from the main farm, so it's not too far out of the way. Their goal was to turn particularly this field here back into, when they moved here first, they bought this property a good few years ago. This was like a meadow field, just all meadow wildflowers, and it was beautiful. And that's one of our goals here in this farm, is to return this to a summer meadow field, and then maybe we can cut hay off this. So it's going to be a few years, I think, of good management to try and get back to that, but I can see a way with good holistic plan grazing we can bring this back. If it was like that before, there's no reason why it can't be like that again, through good management. And it's really nice having a landowner like that to work with. They're happy for me. I took them to my farm, explained to them how everything works for me, and they're completely happy with that. So it's really nice to be able to manage a farm like this, because this farm is very typical of a lot of farms around here. Quite run down, got mixed ground on the farm, so this is kind of like a little project for me as well, to see if I can turn around a farm that's really run down and start to get it into decent production again, because this farm really, the only value in this farm will be through government subsidies, really. You could get a couple of €1,000 in government subsidies to actually farm this, and it's only really suitable for sheep production. There's very little return. The yearly return on this will be a couple of €100, I'd imagine. It can't really support that many animals in the current state. So my plan is to get the grassland back to being really productive, and then integrating different enterprises that could make a small parcel like this, like 3.5 hectares, 8 acres. It's a relatively small parcel of land, but I firmly believe at least one person, if not 2 people, can make a living off a piece of land this size. So my first goal here is to get the grassland back into production, manage the habitats and the edges. We'll see as we go further back up the property, it turns to more hilly ground, so be interested in doing some things there. And it's really cool to actually be working with landlords that want my way of farming on their land, and they've come and found me. So that's a really cool. People often ask me, how do you go about renting land? And if you can show that you're a good farmer and that you can grow good food and you can manage the land very well, then landowners will find you. And I'm not going to invest a lot in this property for the first year. I'm going to invest time in managing it and see how it goes, and if things are going well, then I'd probably start to maybe invest a little bit in this. I've got a 10-year lease on it, so I'm not afraid to invest a little bit in it. I'll put some infrastructure in for watering, and probably then maybe widen some of the gates. There's some drains that have been opened here, but they're all closed up now, so maybe we'd come along, we'd hire a machine in for a couple of days and get them things nice and tidy, put some culverts in, get access better, and a couple of little jobs like that. But it's a very straightforward move in and start farming. Like, it's such a good find for me, and I'm really happy with it. It's got buckets of potential, I think, and I'm excited. You can see we're up in the southwest corner of the main meadow field, and you can see moss is really moving in here, and there's a lot of ground moss because there's no coverage, there's no plant coverage here at all. So the mosses are taking over, and we've seen on the home farm how the poultry have just transformed the moss. They just really stir up the life, and if we're leaving biomass behind, there's no need for the moss to come, there's no need for the rushes to come. The grass does the job, so I just see nothing but potential here really through management. This little wooded area will be just perfect for some pigs. Now, it's not a massive parcel of land, but definitely do pigs for a week or two. And they would just stir up all this undergrowth and gives maybe some new trees a chance to get going. But it's a beautiful little wooded area. There's a mixed species of trees here, and really nice. There's some opening areas, and you can see some new trees making a go for it. We're just up the top of the farm here in the part I call the hill, and this hasn't seen herbivores in a long time. So the thatch is just oxidizing, and it's just slowly physically breaking away. So this could really benefit with some big impact. Now, this wouldn't be ideal taking in stock. I'm normally trying to fatten lambs during the summer. It wouldn't be ideal bringing them onto this, but some dry stock would be a better choice for on here and hit it hard, and then maybe try and hit it with some turkeys as well. It's heading for boggy ground here, so it will be more acidic. There's plants like heather and that growing here. So this might be something you could potentially grow, maybe some blueberries or some bushes that prefer more acidic soil. Now, here you can see the growth is really starting to come in onto the, I wouldn't call it pasture, but into the field. And my plan here is to put pigs in this. I'm going to pick a designated line in from, so the boundary is in behind there. I'm going to allow maybe 10 meters of a hedgerow, and I'm going to clear back everything else then from that and open up the pasture a bit more. So we'll still keep a hedgerow for a habitat for all our wildlife and everything, but I'm going to get the pigs in and maybe clean this up a bit. It goes on for quite a bit on down the boundary here, and we'll see on Google Earth where exactly it is. But we'll just open this up with the pigs. The beauty about the pigs is the pigs come in and they clear all the brush and brambles. It makes it really easy then to come in and get the wild growth. I don't mind the wild growth, but as I say, I'm going to figure out where I want my line, and anyone past the line needs to get back, and they can stay within the line then. There's definitely been some deer grazing through here. You can see here some fresh deer poop. So they've been coming through here. They haven't been managing it very well. I think because there's a lot more better opportunity. They just pass through here. I'd say they use this whole area as cover just. I've seen some beds in it, but you can see here, like, there is grass growing here. So if we manage this, we'll get some production out of it. I don't think we'll be fattening all the herbivores in Ireland on it, but we'll get some output out of it, I think, if we manage it right. And this is the section, so this is the what I'm calling the front section, and we're in the middle here now, and this has got way more potential. So you can see the growth, lack of grazing. So I think with planned grazing we can turn this into some decent grassland, and again we've got to start to manage the hedgerow here as well, stop it encroaching in on the pasture. And I think a good plan there is with the pigs. We'll put the pigs in there maybe in the end of the summer, and then as the hedgerow goes dormant and a lot of the inhabitants move away, we can come in maybe in the winter time or early next spring and clean it up a little bit or get it more under control. Not that it needs cleaning up. And this is what a little soil sample looks like here. So you can see the top, there's a lot of decomposing material on top, but it's breaking down very slowly because it's not getting any impact. It's not getting anything to help it break down. And then you've got a nice layer of really dark soil. It looks healthy. And then as you can see here, the colour, we've got a kind of colour line here, and then this is turning more to clay. There is some root mass still coming down here. So this says to me that it's got great potential to develop those roots by proper grazing management. We'll get it going right down into the ground. I don't see very much worm activity. Now, when I've been planting my trees, I noticed big time this year compared to last year. When I was planting trees in the home farm last year, you know, in a metre by a metre hole, I might have seen 1 or 2 worms. Every shovel that, full of earth that we took up, there was worms in it this year. So I'm definitely seeing positive on the worm activity on the home farm through just 1 year of holistic management with the chickens and then with the sheep as well. So I'm really excited about what we can do here, and one day we'll look at this shot and it'll be just green pastures the whole way down. We'll just have a flowing green pasture down here. We'll have a hedgerow here, and maybe we'll keep some sort of hedgerow down this side as well. How cool would that be? And that's our water source there, just flows under the road, and then this is the gate into the first field we looked at. So a little bit narrow for some of my operations, but we can work on that. There's also this little garden in here, which will probably make an ideal veg garden. It's sheltered by the wind. It's too small really, like there's one day it's grazing for a couple of animals. So could make something cool with this little space maybe. We'll talk to the landowner and see what they think. But I like this little space, nice little triangle. The hedge needs to get maybe maintained a little bit along there and along here, but it's really sheltered little space, so like a little kitchen garden would work well in here. That's it for today, folks. Just a little update of the new farm, and I'm really excited, and you'll see how all this unfolds over the next year or so and the progress that we can make. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a video soon.